Hear me with the deepest attention. What I am about to reveal will challenge the stories you've been telling yourself about struggle, defeat, and the limits of your mind. It will confront the very assumptions that have kept you small. There are, at the root, two destinies men follow. One walks through life beaten down, living day to day in complaint and exhaustion. The other meets hardship with an upright spirit, laughing when despair would have them bow, rising when others throw down the towel, and winning where most expect defeat. That division is not drawn by brains, riches, or schooling. It is carved by the habit of the mind, by a quality I name positive mental attitude. Mark this well. I do not mean a shallow cheerfulness or a painted grin over brokenness. I speak of a far deeper faculty, a spiritual engine that enables a man to peer through the thickest storm and proceed with faith, with precise action, and with unshakable purpose. This is the one known antidote to failure and the firm bedrock upon which all enduring success stands. Decades of study taught me this. The titans of industry, those who raised fortunes and founded movements, did so not because life favored them, but because they learned to forge an indestructible inner posture. They welcomed failure as a teacher. They examined setbacks with curiosity instead of despair, and they transmuted pressure into progress. Their secret was not the absence of hardship, but the mastery of mind that refused to be conquered by it. If I could condense their lesson into a single charge, you can do the same. So ask yourself plainly, what rules you're thinking this morning? Is it fear, suspicion, self-pity, old grudges? Or is it faith, clarity of purpose, thankful recognition, burning desire? The mind is never neutral. It is always being influenced. If you refuse to steer it, outside forces will. If you fail to master it, lesser voices will seize control. I learned this at home in my own battle against the most formidable adversary I ever met, myself. Hear this truth now. Your mental attitude is the one faculty over which you hold absolute, inviolable control. You may exercise it or you may surrender it, but it is yours to govern. That realization will either liberate you or shatter the house of excuses you live under. For what you think, you become. What you fix your attention upon, you draw into being. What you repeatedly dwell upon, you eventually embody. You might protest, I have tried optimism and misfortune keeps arriving. To that I answer, what is the heat of your purpose? No man sustains a strong mental posture without an aim so fierce, so consuming, so magnificent that even setbacks stand trembling before it. Show me a man without a burning purpose and I will show you a man adrift, at the mercy of every passing wind. Such a drifter is easily manipulated by fear and circumstance. But show me a man who wakes each morning with a clear, compelling reason to live, and you will see a man that cannot be broken. To build this invincible outlook, begin with decision. Decide with absolute precision what you intend to achieve. Hold that decision with a firmness that does not waver. Then align your daily actions so they reflect that conviction. No excuses, no waiting for fleeting enthusiasm, and no reliance upon favorable conditions. A truth many will never accept: the world owes you nothing. The universe will not pause for your frailties. Yet the universe unfailingly answers definiteness backed by faith. When a man determines to never yield to negative thought, when he declares his mind his own and not the servant of his doubts, a transformation occurs. He begins to attract allies, circumstances, and reserves of strength he never suspected. Failure, which once haunted him, now shrinks from his approach. But first, you must learn to treat negative thinking as an enemy, not a visitor. Doubts, fears, resentments, these do not merely pass through. If tolerated, they establish residence. They gnaw at the heart of purpose until ambition is hollowed out. Therefore, practice what I call cosmic housekeeping. Inventory your thoughts, audit your inner speech. When you notice the mind dipping into fear or bitterness, interrupt it immediately. As you would bar the door against a criminal, substitute gratitude, confident assertion, and powerful declarations of identity. Speak to yourself the language of endurance. You were not made to crumble. You were fashioned from the same substance that raises mountains and gives life to champions. Do not accept the comfortable lie that some people are simply born positive and others are not. That is a myth born of habit and circumstance. We are conditioned by early influences, by environment, experience, and repeated suggestion, but conditioning is not destiny. Habits can be broken. Programming can be rewritten. The instrument for change is repetition. You become what you habitually do. You accept as true what you continually assert. If you desire to cultivate an unbreakable outlook, begin by controlling your input. Feast daily upon faith, courage, and noble truth. Speak power into your circumstances even when your feelings lag. Immerse yourself in the words and lives of greatness until they live in you. There is no bypass, but there is a road. It begins with the choice to practice, repeatedly and with passion. A central mechanism in this work is autosuggestion. This is the art of intentionally planting thoughts into the fertile soil of the subconscious. Your repeated self-talk is either a builder or a destroyer. That inner conversation precedes every visible victory. A man who rises each morning and declares, "I will persist, I will not be denied," begins to shape reality by sheer mental momentum. Conversely, a man who opens his day with complaint and resignation dies spiritually before the day begins. Whatever the mind can conceive and genuinely believe, it can achieve, but belief is an iron forged in daily repetition. Spend 5 minutes each dawn speaking with vigor to your purpose. Declare your power, affirm that purpose burns brighter than fear, expect the alignments you require. The subconscious treats repetition charged with feeling like masonry, and slowly it builds the fortress of your conviction. Discipline is the bridge that spans idea and reality. No man can master his emotions who has not first mastered his habits. You cannot sustain elevated thinking while indulging rituals that weaken you. The great men I studied, the builders of enterprises, succeeded because they disciplined themselves. They managed time, controlled appetites, and directed attention. Consider what you tolerate that saps your vitality. What distractions do you allow that steal hours and dull your resolve? What comforts do you cling to that buy you small pleasures while mortgaging promise? The unbreakable mind is forged not in ease, but under the strain of practiced self-control. Choose to read instead of scroll, to rise instead of linger in bed, to speak power instead of complaint. Each act of discipline fortifies the soul. Each surrender to ease diminishes it. I want you to adopt this conviction. Every misfortune contains within it the seed of equal or greater advantage. If you truly believe that, you cannot be defeated. Pain, loss, and delay stop being endings and become training grounds. Look back at your life and you will see how the sharpest instruction arrived through collapse rather than comfort. Expect both the pleasant and the painful. Interpret hardship as preparation, failure as redirection, delay as protection. Such belief makes you unshakable. You grow stronger when struck, and thus life loses its power to destroy you. Remember another immutable law. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a victim only when you surrender your response. Two men face the same trial. One becomes bitter, the other wiser and stronger. The difference is mental habit. When life lashes you, you alone decide whether that will be a curse or a lesson. You cannot choose your outer events, but you can determine their inward meaning. This is the essence of the positive mental attitude. It does not remove difficulty. It redefines it and teaches you to walk through storms with composure and aim. Expect resistance. There will be those who deride your optimism. They will brand you naive or deluded. Such people have domesticated hopelessness and find any ascent unbearable because it indicts their comfort. Guard against mental infection. Choose companions who nourish. Avoid those who feed fear. Who you spend time with will reveal who you become. Environment often outmuscles will. If you live in darkness, you cannot expect radiance. Select carefully what you allow to influence your mind, because what enters the ear courses into the spirit. You require no external sanction to cultivate this power. No rank, credential, or applause grants you permission. Only one thing is necessary: a decision. Decide to own your thoughts. Decide to be the leader of your mind. Decide to be the person nothing can break because your attitude will not surrender. Make that resolution now. From this moment, I will not lease my mind to circumstance. I will possess it, direct it, and defend it. Claiming that decision places you more than halfway to sovereignty. You have persisted to this point in my words. That alone reveals your hunger for more than mere survival. Mastery begins inward. The final layer in building an unbreakable outlook is to bind your mind to a chief definite aim. Without it, the mind wanders like a leaf. With it, the mind becomes a compass fixed upon a star. Your purpose must be so vivid, so personal, and so unavoidable that everything else pales in comparison. It must transform from a thing you want into the thing you are becoming. Ask yourself, what would I willingly endure for? What do I desire so profoundly I will accept ridicule, misunderstanding, and isolation to possess it? When you answer and engrave that aim upon your subconscious, repeat it morning and night with feeling. Write it with conviction. Vague wishes yield vague results. Clarity commands outcomes. A man who marries purpose to protected, positive attitude becomes unstoppable. He may be delayed, he may fall, but denial is not his fate. He struggles without retreat because he knows attitude is the hinge of destiny. Attitude decides whether defeat becomes fuel or finality, whether loss becomes a lesson or a lifelong excuse. Guard your mental posture like a sentinel guards his sword. Exclude poisonous people, toxic media, the inner critic's easy lies, gossip, and every variety of victim thinking. Above all, take responsibility. Own your circumstances, shape their meaning, and rise from them. Never allow another to define the significance of your life. Hear this as one who has devoted his days to studying greatness. You were fashioned with purpose. The world awaits what you alone can bring. But that destiny will not arrive while fear, doubt, and fabrication dwell in your mind. Cleanse that inner realm. Feed it with words that elevate. Study the biographies of those who achieved. Practice declarations of power. Move boldly. Think thoughts that expand and propel. Each courageous thought grows you. Each surrender to fear shrinks you. Growth presents itself daily in the choice between courage and timidity. Adopt this rule without reservation. Act as though failure were impossible. I do not suggest reckless ignorance. I propose a resolute refusal to be paralyzed by the fear of error. Fear has robbed more men of their chance than failure ever did. When you remove the shadow of "what if I fail," you act with a clarity that compels response. Replace "I might fail" with "I will learn, I will adapt, I will rebound." This posture is the seed of the unbreakable mind. Certainty attracts, confidence draws help. Those who move with both become leaders in spirit even before titles follow. Yet remember, no man climbs alone, but no man succeeds who waits for consent. You must believe when others scoff, stand when others sit, speak when others mock. Lead while still becoming the person you claim to be, for the world follows those who dare to be mentally invincible. If you will commit to these principles, you will secure a mind that finds opportunity in every obstacle, a voice that daily fortifies your soul, a purpose so clear it repels fear, a discipline that renders weakness irrelevant, and a mental posture so resilient that even the depths cannot stop your ascent. These are not sentimental notions, they are laws as true as gravity. They served Carnegie, Edison, Ford, and they will serve you if you serve them. So the question is not whether these laws function. The question is whether you will live them. Will you claim your attitude each morning? Will you speak strength in the midst of weakness? Will you persist when every impulse screams for surrender? If you do, you will not only achieve success, you will forge a life of meaning, depth, and influence that echoes beyond your years. Decide now. In the moment of decision, your destiny is born. Let every thought, every word, every deed henceforth declare, "I am unshakable, I am unstoppable, I am unbreakable." So be it. And now, as we bring this teaching to its final edge, I want you to understand something most people spend their lives without ever realizing. Your mind is the workshop of your destiny. Every thought you permit, every emotion you nurture, every belief you reinforce, these are the tools with which you carve your future. Most men live as unconscious sculptors, allowing fear, habit, and environment to chisel away at their potential. But you are no longer one of them. Because the moment you fully grasp the power of your mental attitude, you stop living by accident and start living by design. There is one more law, the law that ties everything together. You become the master of your fate the moment you become the master of your mind. People search for secrets, shortcuts, forbidden formulas, when the truth has been in their hands the entire time. The man who can hold his thoughts steady, who can command his emotions, who can discipline his habits, who can stand guard at the gates of his mind, that man owns a power that kings envy. But understand this clearly. This path is not for the weak, not for the easily discouraged, not for the man who seeks comfort before growth. This path is for the man who is ready to die to his old self and rise into the identity he was born for. You must choose, daily, deliberately, to become that man. And here is how you cement everything you've learned. 1. Begin each morning with command. Before the world speaks to you, speak to yourself. Before fear enters, fill your mind with faith. Before doubt whispers, let your purpose roar. Speak your definite chief aim out loud. Speak your affirmations with force, with conviction, with expectancy. This is how you seize control of the day before the day seizes control of you. 2. End each night with gratitude and reflection. Write down what you learned. Write down how you grew. Write down what tested you and how it shaped you. Gratitude strengthens attitude. Reflection strengthens discipline. Repetition strengthens belief. Do this and your subconscious will begin to work for you while you sleep. 3. Guard your environment like a warrior. Distance yourself from complainers, critics, and small-minded people. A negative environment will poison even the strongest mind. Feed yourself with powerful books. Surround yourself with driven people. Expose yourself daily to excellence. Environment is energy, and energy becomes identity. 4. Expect challenges and welcome them. When adversity comes, smile. When a setback hits, say good. There is a seed in this. When a door closes, say another is opening. This is how you become undefeatable. You grow from the very things designed to stop you. 5. Take bold action every single day. A positive mental attitude without action becomes fantasy. Action without purpose becomes waste. Purpose without discipline becomes regret. But a purpose backed by attitude, discipline, and action becomes destiny. Wake up and move. Even small steps create massive momentum. Now listen to my final words, the words meant to stay with you long after this moment. You were not created to drift. You were not born to bow. You were not designed for mediocrity, fear, or defeat. There is greatness in you, not motivationally, but factually. And the only barrier between the man you are and the man you are destined to become is the attitude you choose to carry every single day. So choose now. Choose strength. Choose discipline. Choose purpose. Choose faith. Choose fire. Choose an attitude that refuses to break. Because when you choose that, truly choose it, the world itself rearranges to match the man you have become. Stand tall. The future bends for those who dare to master their mind, and you are becoming one of them.